Howdy, this is a Righteous Farmer. I know I can't compete with all these crazy videos we love to watch, but I'm in the mood to make some myself. And just maybe I'll be able to give you some hints and tricks about successful home gardening.
Hey y'all, we're jumping a couple of 3 weeks ahead right here. This is the magic of YouTube. We're able to do this. And I want to show you something. The problem we've been having lately is it's hard to do a vegetable garden in a rice paddy. Let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? Check this out. Yeah, it has rained every day. I can't get up here to work. I mean, the good thing about the grass is when I want to come up here and do something, at least I got something nice to walk on besides mud. But I really need to get up here and get rid of that grass. And it'd be nice if I could do it while it's not so high, but it's getting higher by the day because it's been raining here every day. And let me show you the squash I just picked off of the stuff right here. And you might say, well, big deal with a wheel. So you got you some squash. Well, I wonder what this amount of squash would cost at the store.
On this day, in this the year of our Bonnie Green Bell Pepper Plants 2025, it's May 24th of a Saturday. It's windy and it's just about to light in raining. It's also the first time in a while that the garden has been dry enough to do a bit more planting. As with the tomatoes, I used the magic hoe handle, or whatever it was, to space out the holes in the freshly dug row. Now, I didn't show the row being dug, as you have seen that before. A string was set end to end in the garden, and Triple 13 fertilizer was drizzled down along the line to mark the row. It was reverse dug with my dandy but discontinued Husky Honda tiller. A tip: with two people, one can get the job done more than twice as quickly. However, often as not, though, by the time one becomes an old fuddy-duddy like my humble self, one has already run off whatever help he may have once had by yelling at them and overworking them. So, often as not, one must be the lonely one to do all the garden chores, including laying down the pepper line. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but as I drag the measuring device along, I'll scoop out a small shovel of dirt to mark the dig point. Then, when I'm done spacing the holes, that's when I'll come back and dig the holes permanent like. Watching carefully, you will see me grab my pepper plants and my get up device and hoof it to the end of the row. Now, the choice of where to start planting is completely beside the point and quite arbitrary. Let no man tell you any different. However, as for me, I kind of like to know that when I'm done planting, I'm back up there by the natty swing where I can take my rest if I like. Let me be the first to give you this excellent hint, and this is what you're here for. If you don't have a swing, natty or otherwise, get yourself one that you can sit on in your lovely garden. Well, unless your back door is like 5 feet away, then you go into the house and sit in front of the AC for an hour or two between garden sessions, sipping iced tea or similar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I shan't for long stall further with the goods. Enough chitty chat. There isn't a terrible whole lot to be said about planting bell peppers. The rule is that you can dig the hole as big and deep as you like, but when you go to plant, make sure to keep the garden level soil even with the top of your plant container dirt or cup thingy. if you insert the pepper down low into the ground, like you do, say, for a tomato, you will be amazed at how perfectly awful it performs. Do not go deep. Keep the original pepper soil even with the hole you just dug. Now, don't think you can cheat now I've done this, okay? Don't think you can cheat by digging a deep and wide hole, but keeping the cup level, level with the soil, but the whole thing is like 2 inches below ground level. The pepper knows, and it will reward you with not good service. I would also add that it's not a very good idea to mulch the pepper either. I have found through experimentation that unlike the humble tomato, pepper plants don't do well with mulch. As such, a pepper plant can take a lot of abuse, a lot more than a tomato anyway. And you know what? It will not reward you for being gentle with it. So put the whip into it, whoop out. I want to pause a moment to clear up something that has been bugging me, but not something bugging me enough that I seem to ever remember to mention until today. This year, I'm planting only about half as much as I have historically. For decades, I planted edge to edge, reasoning that if a whole bunch failed, that I'd still get something. Well, then, back in 2020 or so, I began thinking in earnest about the good old SHTF scenario. If you don't know what SHTF stands for, go look it up. In those cases, there was not an inch of wasted space. This year, however, everything is kind of loose. I'm telling you, I could easily double my plants in the garden if I wanted to. I'm talking about with the space that I've already used, not counting the space I haven't used. Like instead of getting, say, 15 tomatoes to a long row, I'd be doing 18. And the corn, boy, I could easily get 2 more rows, making it 7 instead of 5. And I could be planting the seeds a whole lot closer. In short, this is not a survival garden scenario. It is a lazy man scenario. It's a fact that here at the hacienda of Mr. OT, we simply cannot use all the produce, and I can't hardly give it away. I mean, if I'll pick it and process it and carry it to the people and cook it for them, they might take it to be kind to me. So it doesn't been that route. I can't hardly give it away. So folks have become weaned to the grocery store and restaurant. You've seen that. Back to the situation at hand. After finishing off the peppers, I decided to spend a few lovely moments tying my natty tomato cages constructed from old fence wire that was on the property when I bought it in 1979 together. You can see it ain't nothing fancy. The landscape timbers hold the outside cages steady, and some of that wheat straw baling string binds it all up. The pickles, when they start running, will gum up the whole works all by themselves. At that point, you can hardly rip the thing apart. Now, if you can believe it, as of this session, the ground was a little powdery, and I didn't feel like getting out the hose, and it was supposed to start raining anyway, so I decided to wait on planting the pickle seed, because the ground needs to be a little firm when you go to do that. If it's not enough water, moisture in the soil, it'll cave in on itself if you try to put a hole in there. So you'll see next video probably. See, we take care of that chore later. Now over to the tomatoes. With a little help from Buttercup T-Cat, we go about marking the tomatoes with some cloth that Wife V made for me. That's what all those flappy ribbons you have been seeing was all about. Past year's markers. You see, I tie the cloth directly above a tomato so that later on, when the vines go berserk, as they will, I don't have to hunt where it comes from out of the ground. I use the cloth for reference. Now you may say, really? To which I would say, yeah, really, yerp. The base of the plants has to be searched for once those things get into full production, and I don't feel like fooling with it, so I just look to see where the ribbon is, and that's where I water. This winds up this bell pepper edition. Next time around, we are actually going to plant the pickles and thin the squash. I appreciate more than your brain can process you taking the time to check in on the old garden here. I'd appreciate a like or 7 or 8. Subscribe if you haven't already. You know all that jazz. Jeez. I'll leave you with the antics and hijinks of Orange Cat Bat and Radar T Cat as Radar bites the kitty cat stew Out of the bad orange cat. Not to worry, orange cat survived. Look.
Meow.